Hello and welcome to the show. Okay, today is something different. We're going to be starting our Dungeon and Dragons session for the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. I got the book and I got the next one for our little group that I've got together of my best friends from all walks of life. And basically, one of us has moved over to America, one of us moved into Spain, one of us moved to Australia, so it's been quite difficult to get everyone together all the time, but we found that Dungeons and Dragons seems to be a really good way to do it, even though that none of us had done it before. So, we started off with running the starter campaign, which we were just completing. In fact, this session that you're going to see today was actually meant to be recorded at the end of the final session of the starter. So this is session 0 because it's talking about what we're going to be doing, so people know the characters and stuff. Unfortunately, my character in the starter set made a strange decision, and unfortunately that has meant that another session of that has to be paid to complete the story before we can move on to anything, which is fine, but we'll get onto this one as soon as we can. So in this we're going to be running the Hoard of the Dragon Queen, and I hope you enjoy it. I do have to say that at some point one of our friends, Corey's newborn baby, starts crying. I've cut out the large chunks of crying and us sitting there all awkwardly laughing due to it. Also, I hadn't set up the camera or anything properly, so I just set up a camera going, so my face is on there twice, one in reverse because Skype reasons. But yes, that's enough of me rambling, and please enjoy the show. Right, so when this is all concluding at the moment.
Oh, we see Dave's face twice.
Yeah, I can see that. Dave's picture in picture of himself. We'll be moving on to this, the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. I know it's in reverse to you, but right. So this is the first of the couple of series that we're going to do. Too many Daves. Right. Okay. So. This is all set in roughly where the previous one is set. So it's on the Sword Coast, as it's called. So there is all things like Neverwinter and all that are still around. So just so you know, we're in that realm.
Okay, cool.
There is the Cult of the Dragon have been around. For many years. They've usually had hundreds of followers. Recently their sort of presence started to dwindle, but there's been a large surge of them recently. So more and more people are going to them, like there's something that's going to be building up. And what you know of the Cult of the Dragon is that they were intent on claiming the dragon masks, all of the dragon masks, of which you don't know how many there are or how many they've obtained or even if they exist, and their intent is to release the multi-headed dragon Tiamat.
Okay. And we know all this, do we?
You know all this from past history of the Cult of the Dragon, the downfall of the Cult of the Dragon, and but then there's been a surge of them recently, so something's going on. However, what I really wanted to find out was how you all sort of know each other, and what relation you have in reference to the first town that you'll be aiming to go to. Greenest.
If I start, I mean, obviously, like I said, I'd like to continue with Trix if I can, and if so, then the fact that he's part of this organisation obviously be written into the story and the reason why he goes there.
Right. yeah, as I was saying to you before, though, is obviously Dave might want to continue doing, like, making up a story or something for our characters, whatever happens to them at the end. As we just found out, mine could be a god soon.
I did forget to say before, sorry, just going back to our story again. When I'm talking about the souls thing, it was an important fact to mention that the souls needed to be like innocent souls.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I get
Souls
it.
don't count, basically.
If you get everyone butt fucking, which so they'll lose their innocence. So, which we've known that told.
I think that's the wrong kind of innocence.
Anyway, sorry. Break back into your thing again, Mark.
Yeah. So there's some various predetermined bonds that you can have, and I think the best thing to do is for you to decide now between you what sort of relationship you have with one another, whether it's you're a group of adventurers who have previously done really small tasks together, or this is the first time you've come together, or whether you want me to write it in that there's very specific person involved.
Yeah.
Well, if we so Dave, would there be any reason that we couldn't transfer Trix over to this new story?
I don't. Well, I mean, the issue would be if Mark's story is all balanced for level 1 characters at the start, which I assume it is.
I'd re-level. I'm just thinking for like the character development would continue, but all the additional stats.
There's no
and
reason
stuff.
it can't be. There's no reason it can't all be part of the same world, as far as I can see.
Yeah, it would just have to be like you'd be level 1. None of your existing items are going to be there, but we can have your history of you joined the Harpers thrown in. Also with this
so
one,
I'd want to be then. I guess I would want to be. I'd want to sort of come across the people at the start, I guess.
okay,
Because I'd maybe be, whatever reason I'm sent there for as part of my organisation. Maybe that's.
and your
maybe that's
character Trix can be a different class as well now. Like
Yeah,
you could be the
I
same
might
character,
start-
different class.
I might start off as something like roguelike, but not necessarily a rogue.
Okay.
Of course, what I would have liked is if you had all like new interesting classes that none of us have come across yet.
Okay.
Just because there's loads of spells and stuff that each classes have, like rangers have spells and things like that that keep a bit of flavour alive. Considering we've got 16 levels worth of stuff to do here, it's huge.
Okay, I get you.
So it's a lot bigger. But I also said that you can multi-class, which are,
We'll probably get through it a bit quicker than we've been getting through mine as well, because we've been quite slow, I think.
yeah. This one is
Well, I've been slow.
in the chapters specifically. You level up after each chapter.
Yeah.
So that's going to be how we'll do that. Do you want to roll for these bonds? They might be quite interesting. Like, so you don't have choice, or do you want me to read out the bonds and give you the choice?
I'm not. I had a kind of rough idea. I definitely like the idea of us having kind of. I think it's quite good to have a kind of like elements of your backstory that you're not in control of. There's a kind of rough idea in my head of wanting to be a kind of like someone who was like an ex-cultist in some way or something.
There is actually a very specific one in here that is part of that. If you want me to read that out to you, or do you want me to send?
Yeah, go on.
That one says that you and your family were members of the Cult of the Dragon until your rivals within the cult arranged to wipe you out. Though they slaughtered your family, you survived, but they think that you're dead. Now is your chance for vengeance. Your hit list consists of 3 names: a human cultist, Frulam Mondath, a half-orc, Bogluck, and a half-dragon called Resmir. You arrived in Greenest knowing that it's the next of the cult's list of targets.
That's pretty cool.
So there is that very specific bond.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that could be really interesting.
I'll copy and paste it and I'll send it to you so that you can sort of
Okay.
throw it in.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of class I'd want to be yet. I've had a feeling of wanting to be a kind of like, kind of ex-evil paladin kind of thing. But I don't know how that really fits in with everything. But if that's something that's workable, I'd quite like to be a paladin.
It's possible with 5th edition. They actually made it so that paladins are allowed to be. What they did was they changed it so that a paladin can, like, every class can be any alignment. So
Yeah.
paladins could be evil. So obviously we'll just change it up that you are a reformed one.
Yeah, I don't want to play an evil character. I think that gets a little bit.
No, I think the
mental.
lowest. I think we should say that the lowest we'll allow is like neutral. Do you think? Because like my chaotic neutral character is very hard to get that across.
Very hard to rein in as well sometimes.
Aside from the thing that just happened, where I just went super selfish because I was on my own. Like, it's been really hard to get chaotic neutral going.
Yeah.
So if we say, I don't mind you being anything from lawful good all the way through to neutral.
Okay. I've kind of got a character kind of idea of personality and everything kind of sketched out in my head, but I'm not quite sure where it fits on the kind of chaotic, neutral, evil, lawful, good scale. You know what I mean? But I'll try and work it out.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think I mentioned it a few times, but I've been kind of thinking of like a ranger, so more of like someone who's incredibly apt with bows, and maybe no one's been an elf yet.
Yeah. Okay.
And if
Sounds cool.
does that fit in with any of like the pre? Like
That would be absolutely fine. There is also the new races that I'll also allow in this. Have you seen the new races at all?
1 minute, guys.
Nick, you still there? Or you dropped out? No, he's dropped out. So yeah, Corey, Nick was saying that he wanted to be a ranger. Potentially an elf. Dave isn't so sure about his class. I would say that some interesting interactions can happen for half-dragons.
Right, okay.
The dragonkin people. But there is also the new races that I will allow. But we'll make
Sorry, I'm back.
Alright. I was just saying that we will allow the new races, but the bird people, like flying, will have to incredibly nerf it, and then sort of
Right.
give you some things that we can do with it at a later date.
What are the other new races?
So there's the bird people, and they have they're very, very free-spirited kind of people.
Okay.
There's deep gnomes, which are sort of gnomes that have always lived underground. They're really sturdy. They're really good at being like warrior type people and things like that, it seems.
Are gnomes like smaller than hobbits?
I think there's like, it's more like width is more a thing with them. I think gnomes are a bit chubbier.
Okay.
Halflings are in proportion to humans. Then you've got the Gensai, who are elemental based creatures. So you can either be an air Gensai, earth, water, or fire. So like your colour of your skin is in reference to whatever one you pick. And they all have different abilities as well. And then there's the Goliaths, which are 7 to 8 foot giant creatures who once a day can basically shrug off an attack.
Are they like? I'm sorry. Slow and stupid? Is that like sort of a trade-off?
No, they're not necessarily stupid. The trade-off is that they're massive, and obviously people would be a bit intimidated by them.
Are they easier to hit as well?
No,
Because they're so.
no more so easier to hit. It's just that once a day, I think it's a D12 amount of damage they can shrug off
Okay.
after taking a hit. So, like, I was looking at it and I was thinking, they sound like amazing berserkers. Like,
Yeah.
the berserkers who use this rage-infueled swinging attacks. Just sounds so awesome to me. Those are the extra classes and the rough sort of guide where you're going to be. It sounds like, obviously, we're going to have Trix being somebody who joins in. So shall we have it that the three of you don't know each other and that you're all meeting to...
Dude,
We can do that, or we
what's the
speak-
organisation I'm part of, Dave? I can't remember.
The Harpers.
The Harpers. So I suppose we could technically have all three of us as the Harpers, but maybe that would have been the backstory for everyone.
The Harpers, from the sounds of what stories, Dave's stories going on, is actually like the Black Spider's crew.
No, I don't think that's true. I
It
think
may or
he's-
may not be. You don't
Yeah,
actually know that.
We don't know that yet. I
You know,
want to
It's
throw
always
it.
possible that things can be. Well, I mean, that would be something perhaps that you could even carry on into it. The uncertainty around that, essentially, you wanted to.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'd be best to have just the one character from the Harpers or not. But even if so, the other two characters could still technically know each other.
How about we have Corey Trix being a Harper or a reformed Harper, depending on how it goes in the next session, and the other two
Hail
being
Harper.
either being exactly the same. So either being a Harper that was a good Harper or a bad Harper, whatever they're going to end up being, or initiates.
So we're all part of the
Isn't it-
same group.
What, like, you mean like they're being recruited by me or something like that?
They're being recruited, and you're sort of overseeing their initial
Yeah, that makes sense.
apprenticeship. But obviously, if the Harpers
Cool.
end up being a horrible organisation, you'll all want to get out of it. Unless you all go evil, and then it'll just be really weird.
So the idea I've got in my head doesn't particularly fit with that. Like, I can't imagine. I'm thinking of having a guy who's basically like got that bond that we were talking about. So I was an ex-cultist and I've left, and I'm basically plotting my revenge. I can't imagine that character being particularly keen on joining a organisation dedicated to kind of liberating people from. I suppose
Yeah,
actually, no,
unless-
because they would.
Well,
would be the
unless they
kind of
had the
organisation-
express intent of taking down that cult.
That's what I was just wondering. Actually, it's the kind of thing that they would be involved in, isn't it? So he could be like aligned with them because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. But what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking the Harpers wouldn't be called in for that, but if they came across it, they might get involved, and that's what I'm thinking would happen with Trix. Is that
Okay,
for something else, and then he found out about it.
maybe
Right.
we could all just meet each other then. That might be more interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe
Yeah.
like a couple. Or like two of you could already know each other, and one of us couldn't. Or
Okay. So I think Dave's character doesn't know you two for sure,
Yeah, really cool.
okay,
and meets on the road, sort of, and then. Oh, he's stopped now. Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, that's the general gist of it. Is that you're going to be you're going towards this town of Greenest. I'm still not sure whether it's Green Nest or Greenest, because it's spelt Green EST.
Okay.
It's like it's a nest, and I don't know.
Hmm.
Would
sounds like one to find out in character.
Yeah.
Yeah, or would you just slowly decide what we're going to call it? Nick, do you want to roll a story, or do you want me to send you some choices?
I guess send me some choices, because I kind of came in when I came into the last game. I took over the extra character sheet, and this time I think I'd be keen to take a bit more control over defining him. So I'm happy to choose.
Okay, yeah, I'll get you a copy of just this one page, which just has the background templates.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's roughly it. Just wanted to know really where you were gonna do a starting place from, and then I'll prepare the first chapter from this book.
Okay. How much? So in terms of, so if I'm looking at my character sheet, right, from the predefined one. So is the idea that we'd set up something equivalent for our new characters?
Yeah. You sort of set up a rough background of your character, and you sort of get a feel for where your character would probably sway, and then obviously as the story goes on, you can completely change.
Yeah.
Or it can.
So in terms of like stuff like all of your skills, that sort of shit, does that all depend on the race and sort of like class you choose?
Yes. Yeah, like a lot of it is. So,
so like our features and traits are based on that, I guess. Our equipment will kind of be logical based on what our background is. Our proficiency.
Yeah, your equipment's generally it's like dictated when you go through the character creation process. Like different classes have equipment that you start with and stuff.
So, like, if you're a ranger, you might start off with a bow. Whereas a warrior would start off with a giant sword or something. He's gone. It's gone again.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell because he just frizzes. He'll be happy when he gets that home plug.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Give me any warning. I'm not even transmitting a video. Why the fuck is it doing this? So yeah, and on the back it'd just be elf, ranger, with a bit of, and then the background would be dictated by you, I guess.
No, I will give you the choices.
Okay.
I'll give you the choices, obviously, of the backgrounds, but you don't have to stick to these choices. You can stick to the standard choices from the book. It's just that from the main handbook. But this one, obviously, has things like the one I read out for Dave has names and stuff involved.
Sure. Right.
So you might come across them, you might not. Like how your auntie was in the previous one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay a bit more attention this time.
Yeah, and I guess if you're not using a predefined one, you're not going to end up accidentally sleeping with somebody and finding out that they're meant to be related to you.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair play. Guys, I'll ask on behalf, because he's not here, like, in terms of Rob, like, he said he may be able to get involved. Are you gonna share information with him, and, like, should we try and hook him in, or do you reckon should we keep it flexible and just, you can, we'll basically, like, have, like, a player extra that you can slot him in
What I'll do is we'll have him be able to slot in and out. Obviously, because he has to get up so early to actually be involved.
Yeah.
So, but because obviously that things are going to be defined by levels really easily by this, it shouldn't be too hard to just say, oh, he's gone out and he's done his own quests and whatever and caught up with you level-wise, so to speak.
Okay.
There is also the possibility of the return of the Perry now.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, his relationship ended, so he now has a bit more free time. May or may not happen.
Okay.
So
That was causing the problem before when he couldn't play. It was collapsing.
he was clashing.
Combination of that and puns.
It was clashing with his real life commitments, and then he got really involved with the girlfriend, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So we might have the extra person.
Cool.
Okay.
This is meant to be scaled for 4 adventurers. So as we go on, I might have to tweak how many enemies you end up facing.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and if you run it as a if there's like a total of 5 potential players every week, and you just do it every time that you are able to, Mark,
Yeah.
regardless of who's able to make it, then it will probably most of the time probably will actually be 4.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So
Yeah.
it probably would, like, I don't know if that would be.
Yeah.
Because I think that there has to be I think that has to be the right way to do it. Is just to have a set time and just to kind of, and just try and come up with ways of dealing with it if the player isn't there one week. You know.
Mhm.
I guess it makes it a bit difficult from the story perspective. That's what I was always finding was like, especially like earlier on, it was okay, but like we got to the end here, and I was
Yeah.
starting to get to the point where I was just like, well, I don't really want to start doing too much of this without all the players there because it's going to be a bit like they're just going to completely miss out on the whole story, and you can't just like insert people randomly, especially when you know their characters would affect the outcome of where everyone went and stuff quite a lot. But you know,
Yeah.
it's not that straightforward. I guess, but-
What I'll do is I'll do roughly what when we did our little one-shot thing, Dave, just for the fun of it, when I had you against that Minotaur that suddenly lost a shed load of health because you were never going to kill it in its current form.
Oh yeah.
I was just suddenly like,
I have to admit I may have done that a couple of times to all of you guys.
you just go, okay, while you're fighting, maximum health has just been cut because it's just gonna go wrong. Because I don't mind your characters dying. Okay, I know it's gonna sound horrible, but I don't mind your characters actually completely dying and you having to have a new character come in. I'll
Right,
try
but it should be our
not to
fault.
do that. Yeah, I'll try not to have that happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to be either your fault or some amazing dice rolling from the villains or what have you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hold back sometimes. Like if you're... for example, there's sometimes in this where you can make a very, very, very bad decision really early on. And it literally says in the book, if your party decides to do this, they are allowed a do-over.
Right.
It's like, okay, fair enough.
Cool.
So
I like the sound of that.
it's only because it's
I-
really stupid. Like it's incredibly stupid to do it.
Sweet. I've just been reading about draconians, by the way, while we've been talking about this, and I want to be a draconian.
You want that?
I'm thinking draconian paladin.
Nice.
Sounds awesome. Get
Nice.
to be a healer warrior person who can also breathe fire. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, because can't they like breathe fire or poison or something like that? They can choose.
They all have like a breath attack. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Tiamat is the dragon that can do all of them. In fact, I've got a picture of Tiamat here. It's the other book. Multi-headed dragon.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh. Scary.
Yep, and that's for the 8 to 15. Levels 8 to 15 on that one. Obviously, we can stop out, and if somebody else wants to do some sort of dungeon mastering or what have you. 'Cause obviously,
I've had my fill for a while.
is it
It's been good
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, I didn't really think I'd be too interested in doing it, and I won't be over the summer. But I'm guessing this will last the summer. After that, I might well be.
yeah, because I'm genuinely really enjoying D&D. Like the more we play it,
No,
the
it's
more
really
I'm like, come on, I want to do this.
Yeah.
No, I've been having a really good time. I mean, the DMing is really good fun as well. That you are definitely going to enjoy it. I've been finding that I haven't had as much time to prepare as I'd like
Yeah, I
recently.
feel like it takes a bit of time to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a
The
shame.
thing
because-
is, I think it's taken. I've made it hard for myself because I've just gone massively off of book and completely kind of came up with loads of my own stuff, which has meant that I've had to give a lot more thought to what's going on at any given moment.
Yeah,
because I'm having to think things together, which I'm kind of pretty much, the book isn't what's going on anymore. So it's like, it takes quite a lot of preparation when it's like that.
I'm not going to really deviate from the book that much.
I don't recommend it because it takes a lot of effort.
I'm still a bit confused how in your story that we've been doing that I was meant to go to Neverwinter and go get this staff made and what have you, and we've completely never had a reason to go to Neverwinter aside from this staff. So, nah.
It's a living, breathing world, Mark. That's all I'll say.
I have a broken staff in my bag and some dude's head.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm excited to give it a try. I'm going to reread the chapter over and over again. Make sure that I can start it off in the most fun way possible. So that'll probably be in what two sessions time.
Cool.
Depends on whether we screw up Dave's ideas again and end up making it extend.
We'll have to draw a line somewhere, I think.
That moment when we decided to split up and Dave, you could just tell that Dave was like, well,
I did figure that would be the determining factor as to whether we could get it done in one or not.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. It's like, if you all went the same way, I thought, yeah, I can probably do this tonight, but you didn't, so...
I was just thinking to myself, like, the way the characters are, they're definitely going to split. But I actually thought we would have to kill Mordor.
I thought you would, to be honest.
I thought you were going to do that as well. I thought
we would have to kill Mordor and the Black Spider.
Mm-hmm.
But because we were both so low on health, we would have ended up dead ourselves.
Yeah, no, I was actually more than willing to go on with the Black Spider's plan until he got paralysed. And I was like, this is if there's an opportunity to kill the guy and just get out, this is it. This is the job.
It is so brilliant the way it just, like, these things could just evolve out of the ether, you know. It's brilliant. It's so much fun.
I just knew that my character, being the really selfish, horrible demon lady that she is, just go mental and just be like, yeah.
Sorry, you're female.
Yes, I've been female the whole time. Have you not noticed my banner across the thing has been a picture of a female?
Doesn't look female.
I'd say I at no point realised
What are
you were
you
female.
talking about?
No. Right, okay. It's because sex doesn't actually matter. Like, I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind if your characters are male or female or what.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we've been referring to you as he the whole time, and you never corrected us.
No, I never bothered. Look, this is the picture that's on my on the banner.
Oh.
That's,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's what I've had in my mind all this time, but
Yeah.
never.
By the way, Mark.
Yeah.
Sorry, just saying, when we're rolling for our characters, how do you want us to do it? Do you want us to use like the standard table of stats, or do you want us to roll for them, or do you want us to?
Ideally, I'd rather you did the standard table, the 15 one.
Where there's like a set of numbers that you always have, and you just assign them as you want.
Yeah, I'd personally rather that, because then it's fairly even, and nobody's gonna end up walking in and going, I rolled 6 20s.
Yeah. I found that, like, for the one shot that we did, Mark, like, I rolled way better than Rachel did for the character stats, so my character was just way better than hers. Basically, it was a bit shit, to be honest, because of that.
I think that's the other thing, is that it doesn't make one character stupidly overpowered. I mean,
yeah.
Even though
the thing is, I still wasn't that much better, but it was enough that it was noticeable that my guy was quite significantly more efficient at killing stuff.
Yeah.
Despite not being as much of a fighter. You know?
And I think the other thing is classes as well. Like, the Warlock clearly is incredibly overpowered for the first couple of levels, because that was ridiculous. But then it sort of evened itself out when you guys started getting all your sneak attack bonuses and things like that. You were starting to really rinse through people, whereas before I could just kill a room like in one shot.
Yeah, it did make quite a big difference.
I'm really intrigued by the Nick playing a ranger, because I want to know which kind of ranger you go for. Do you end up having a pet companion?
I have to research this shit.
Basically, the ranger at like level 5 or something has the ability to either have a creature with him,
Yeah.
which means that you can either attack as the pet or as the archer.
Okay.
And then a few more levels down the line, you actually get the ability to use both.
Oh, nice.
Or you don't have the pet and you just get better at being an archer.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, that's what I think it's saying about why I want you to try experimenting with other classes. So even
Yeah.
if you start out as a ranger and you go, actually screw this, I much prefer being a rogue or what have you, and then you start multi-classing, so you've still got the ranger start-off abilities.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I'm surprised that nobody said straight upright that they want to be a caster. Nobody wants to be, magic.
Paladin's a caster.
Yeah, but you're also sword and shield kind of thing at the same time, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I've just got to-
I kind of partially didn't go for a caster because I was expecting someone else probably would. But I could still go that way if we end up with like Perry and Rob both saying they want to do tanky characters, then I might just kind of not do the paladin and do something slightly different to kind of give us a bit more rounded route.
Yeah,
that helps.
I made randomly just for fun because I was just making characters just to see how they all shaped up, and I ended up making a sorcerer pirate who because I found out that you can plate your weapons with silver for 200 gold pieces. So if you have the 200 gold, you can start with a silver-plated thing that does more damage to special creatures and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm a pirate who just casts magic, and if anything turns up, I've got my pirate training with a sword. It's like such a cool character. There's loads of things that you can do with it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no. So that's basically it. There's lots of choice. I'm going to be obviously very relaxed with what you want to be, except I don't really want any evil characters to begin with. Like, you can go evil later on if
Right.
it actually fits in the story. Like, if there's any point like you end up joining a cult or something and go evil.
There can be character development, basically, is what you're getting at, I guess.
Yeah. There's loads of stuff that can happen, and I don't mind that happening at all. It'd be quite interesting.
Cool.